Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to LRGA Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in. Go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified next time we upload videos over here on LRGA Curves, and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Thank you very much for being here. You guys, oh my gosh, a couple of things have happened overnight. A couple of things, such as the Toya said freaking that girl, the new wife, is lying. Let me see if that's up. Let me see what I can do. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. Let's see if it's still up. It might not be in her freaking story anymore. The show has made T go crazy. You think? You think it's the show's fault, huh? I don't know. I don't know. So it's still here. And hey, thanks for coming in, Chastity and Angela. Thank you so much for being here. I'm getting this media together. Here we go. 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 Milo, I don't know what you're talking about, mister. Not sure. Okay. Yes. Hey, Burnell. Thanks for coming through, you guys. Can you hear me okay? Microphone check. Let me make sure we can hear me. Because sometimes I just be in here talking and talking. And I'm like, uh-oh. Y'all couldn't even hear me. I even did that with my interview with Dr. Heavenly. I was just talking and giving her the best introduction ever. And nobody could hear anything. Technical difficulties much? Not often. Learning experiences, let's call them that. I hope you guys are doing something to make your lives better, to improve yourself. Did you guys know that like self-love and self-respect and doing your talent are all symbiotic? And I hope that you are doing your talent. I hope that you are living your life. I hope that you're doing something that makes your heart sing. And I'm so glad that you're over here singing your heart with me. Let's see. I get these commercials on my thing, huh? That's because I'm over here talking about black stuff. So they give me these commercials. Let's see. Okay. Kathy's over here. Bonita Howard's in the house. Thanks for coming through. Good morning. Yes. No, you're not late. I had said 9:30 and then I changed it to 10 because when I turned off my computer, it did a freaking update. And yes, so I was doing things. Okay, you guys. So on our thumbnail, we have lies and lawsuits. You know who's in the lie side? Is Toya versus Sweet and Sour, Sweet Tea, Lipton, the new wife on Married to Medicine. I'm being a little cheeky because I feel like she's doing a whole lot of lying and a whole lot of lack of accountability. And she wants 85 apologies, but I haven't heard one from her. And oh, that one's not sincere. And that one wasn't on your head. And that one wasn't on your knees. And that one you weren't bending over backwards. And I'm just not getting sincere. And the whole time continuing to this day in 2025 to continue to talk trash about these same people on your YouTube constantly, while the other people have kind of like they've let up. You know how when you used to play wrestling on Saturday mornings with your cousins, remember the good old days? And you guys would be wrestling and you used to be able to like pin them in a certain way where you could be like, oh, they had to like call uncle. Is that what you guys used to call it? We used to call uncle. And if they said uncle, then you had to stop. And that means they gave up, you know? And I just feel like she should just call uncle at this point because she got herself all twisted up. It started off nice enough, and now she's crying. And mom's coming in the room, you know? So when she cried uncle, as far as her mental health, not saying that it was a fallacy, just saying that she said it's too much. It was affecting her mental health. And then coming on the show this season and even further purporting that it's affecting her ability to become pregnant because of the amount of stress this environment puts on her because of how she's treated and she's bullied, and they are making money off of her and they just used her. And it's like this, it's a lot of self victimization, I'm feeling like, from a woman who's married to a man in mental health. So I feel like he should be able to do his field with his wife or refer her to Mimi so that she can address this, because this is a lot, even for us as viewers. I mean, we didn't know about your endometriosis from anyone but you, as far as in Sweet Tea. You know, we didn't, we knew about access to the money because of Sweet Tea. So that makes it sound like a sugar baby, sugar daddy situation. And then she gets mad when people speculate and purport further, or would somehow want to like be like, okay, well, if I was in her shoes, I would have XYZ'd. And then your XYZ becomes an attack on her somehow. And I'm just not buying this self-victimization. I'm not, especially with no accountability. Okay. I know the people say that my friend, Dr. Heavenly, I am a boopy for sure. Heavenly's Angels, hashtag, hashtag. But they want to act like she's the problem. And I say to you, who would purport that Dr. Heavenly's the only problem, that you might want to go back and rewatch or reassess, because it takes two to tango and one to sing the blues. And sweetheart, let me tell you about another flash of news. Okay? Dogs aren't dumb like you say. And who gives a big anyway? They have respect. They ask before they do. Honey, boom. You should take a lesson or two. Okay? She's all over here criticizing wisdom, downgrading wisdom, disrespecting wisdom, coming in like one of these kids that haven't gotten spanked ever. Like totally acting like you're like exactly on the same wavelength as your elders is a kind of a form of disrespect. And then when they check you like the elders they are, with all the wisdom and class of checking that comes with those extra number of years that you like to point out so much. So that means, you know, they old. Well, if they got 20 more years of reading bitches, basically, and now your feelings are hurt. That's what's happening. I said it. And this isn't like a come down. I'm just like noticing that, you know, the times in my own life where I brought it on myself, and recognizing that Sweet Tea is bringing some shit on herself. And knowing that the sooner that I took accountability in those situations, the sooner that I was able to move on from those situations, and hoping that Sweet Tea can do the same. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not judging anyone when I do these things. This is allegedly for entertainment purposes, in my opinion. Okay? And my point remains valid to me, that she brings a lot of this on herself. A lot of it. And instead of Even to this day, in February 2025, they're shooting the reunion today, and I heard she went after all. And I wonder if Phaedra went. That's the question, if Phaedra went. So I feel like she brings it on herself. I see 23 lovely souls are in here today. I don't know how many of you feel like interacting and participating. Now 26. Thanks for the love. If you feel like participating in, do you recognize Sweet Tea's bringing this on herself with zero accountability? Let's use a number 3 for that. However, if you feel like Sweet Tea has no blame in this, and these ladies are just bullying her the way she's saying and just using her, and nothing she says should be held to account or against her. I'm just asking. Let's use a number 5 for that. So we got a 3 if she's lacking accountability, bringing this on herself. And we have a 5 if no, these Geritol doctors who've been practicing in their respective fields for over 20 years are bullying her. Let's go over here. Okay. So we got a 3 from Kelsey. Thanks for being here. 3 from Burnell. Falana's in the house. Oh my gosh. Falana loves to come and play. Right on. Thanks for coming. Is it just wrong? I can't watch this show no more because of it, right? For Simone to tell her at the table to get over stuff Heavenly said about her when she still ain't got over what Heavenly said about her husband. They're true. If you're not being nasty, then she won't be calling you out, Mamira. It's never nasty. Oh, let me start at the top. I started at the bottom. It looks like some stuff happened up at the top. Let's see. Chastity said, this show has made T go crazy. Hello, everybody. Not the show, but it's taken a toll on her. I'm a Quad fan and a Heavenly fan. Ditto. Good morning. Grand Rising. Yes. I can't wait to see her the rest of the episodes and at the reunion. Yeah, so we get 5 more episodes. And then the reunion is being shot today. She did show up. Let's see. You agree? Oh, excellent. Excellent. Yes, she got an apology, but it wasn't good enough. T and her fans drag Heavenly for speaking on the show, but say nothing when T does it. Exactly. Sweet Tea always has on YouTube. Sweet Tea always on YouTube talking trash. Exactly, Burnell. Kathy says Sweet Tea is married. Sweet Tea, where'd that go? Oh, a lot of comments. Sweet Tea is married to Dr. G. The narc might be stressful. Yeah, right? I mean, she needs somebody to talk to. And if she's claiming to bring Mimi on the show, and then Mimi's confronting ladies like freaking Sweet Tea is fine, I think Mimi needs to check on, and go put her hand on Sweet Tea's shoulder, talking about calm down over there. Baby, you need to take some accountability over there. Go rub that shoulder, Mimi. But it's a lot of babying going on with the baby, in my opinion. She's acting like a baby. She's all bragging, I'm the youngest. But she's also like, you can have all the smoke. I can give you what you want, and it's just a lot of wolf tickets. When you get to a certain age, it's just, when you're joning, as Dr. Heavenly would say, it's one thing. But like when you take yourself seriously, that you can give them what you want, and this is what they came for, and I'm the one, and then think that also from that stance is going to be like attacking them, like, oh, implying that Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie shouldn't be friends, implying that these other ladies need to somehow cut off Dr. Heavenly and her antics in particular, when all the ladies on the show are fabulously shadeful. That's why we love the show. This is an excellent ensemble cast of varying shades of shade, right? And give it to the melanin, right? There's definitely shade for every melanin in this group. We got loud Thunderous Shade with Simone. We got I'll Give It to You Straight, even though, as they say, it could cut to the white meat from Dr. Heavenly. We have Classy Shade from Dr. Jackie. And we have Millennial Shade from Sweet Tea. We have Quad Shade over there. You know what I'm saying? So we have all of these varying shades of shade. So why is it now all of a sudden bullying when, like the comment says, you're on your freaking YouTube every Monday, Sunday, whenever you can get on there? I'm not really sure. That's the only place I'm not blocked at this point, because I bet she goes live. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. Okay. I'm not proud of being blocked. Okay. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. Don't be confused. I sit up here and I talk my stuff, but I love all these people. I love them all. I love them all. Okay. So, let's see some more comments, because I'm going to show you. This is another example of how she's bringing something on herself. Now, when Toya brings this up, because this happened right before the reunion. Toya just posted this 14 hours ago. They're at the reunion right now. Like she was in makeup 4 hours ago. Okay. They're at the reunion right now. So she's about to bring on herself whatever she brings on herself at this reunion, because now Toya gets to include this. Okay. And we get to include this freaking weird ass live that we went over here on LRGA Curves the other day, when I was like, what? When Dr. G and her did this live, and they were saying the things about, just all the excuses for her being treated like that by her new husband in her second year of marriage to him, which should be their newlywed, like, come give it to me in a broom closet vibes. And instead, she's like letting this show stress her out. And then crying victim. I'm just like gobsmacked. Okay. Let's see. Let's come down. Woo, thanks for being here. Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Copying Quad and Dr. Heavenly's Sweet Tea trying to have a date and even, yep, girl, fix your own marriage with that unhinged man, right? Did you guys see this freaking live that she did the other day where she's like, oh, excusing everything he did away. It's all everybody else's fault. And then he gets on there and he takes zero accountability also, you guys. He's all, oh, the reason that happened is because I was in a bad place. I had a bad day at work. And I had just quit because I was, advocating for patients' care, and I didn't agree with how the patients were being treated. And I was like, but aren't you the one who just discarded patients, talking about you had enough patients is why you stopped taking Dr. Damon Kimes' patients over what your wife started, sir? And now you quitting jobs over patient care, sir? I mean, it's a zero accountability relationship. It's a zero accountability household over there. They both pumping each other's head up, just how you feel now, babe? Yeah, like I was saying, it's not my fault. Dr. Heavenly's to blame. Can you believe she did that? And then Sweet Tea's all, how you feel, babe? And he's all, well, like I was saying, it's really wrong the way that everybody was treating me. And I had a bad day at work and I had to quit my job because I didn't agree with how the patients were being treated. And that's Sweet Tea's husband's high ass voice in my head. Okay. She brings it on herself, Kathy. We got a lot of threes. I don't have any fives. Okay. They agree. She brings it on herself, right? If T, I will report they asked to the medical board. For what? She comes to a platform that's already full of shade every day. Now, the one thing we do appreciate about over here in the Married to Medicine streets of it all is the hashtag Black Excellence, because They don't go around just like looking and digging up dirt really on each other that it makes it to the freaking camera. You know what I'm saying? And other franchises, it seems like they've been doing that a lot for our views and entertainment. And so I don't agree that she should report anybody's real life anything for coming on a show where these ladies have been real. Report them to the board for what? For being more witty than her? Report them to the board for what? For being quicker with the comebacks? Report her to the board for what? For giving her an opportunity that she floundered. I mean, it's like being at the Super Bowl on Sunday, okay? Those people on that Kansas City Chiefs team was like, they was getting intercepted and all kind of stuff. None of it is landing, darling. Nobody's making any plays. Nobody's making any touchdowns off of what you're doing. We get one or two good passes, and the West is floundering, and then you're complaining that the other team is winning. And now they have an alliance, and Toya says blah, blah, and now you have to do. It's a lie. You're childish, like Brittany says. Quad is a lot, but Dr. G is off his wagon. Yes, the point that he's being a shrink, he should have his stuff together. I feel like that too. This is not and then for him to turn around and blame all these women around him. And then for this particular woman to be like, okay, yeah, well, he was having a bad day. You teach people how to treat you. That's one thing that wisdom lets us know, is you teach people how to treat you. What you tolerate today will become your norm tomorrow. What you don't nip in the bud today, if you don't like getting talked to like that, and you just got with that fool, you let them know. And then if they continue to do that, then you know that that's not the person for you, because you already let them know that you don't like being talked to like you're a 5-year-old. You don't like being poked with whiteboards in front of all of his friends and being told to shut the fuck up, and then having to justify him turning to the next woman who he used to be married to. He still has so much for her that he turns to her and tells her to shut the fuck up too. And you're sitting here like, oh my God, she was talking so much shit. Like she somehow deserves to be verbally assaulted by her ex when she's sitting there saying that part of the verbal assault that she endured while she was married to old fool. Can you imagine getting cussed out about with this voice? Quad, you bitch. I told you I wanted beans for dinner, bitch. I'm not taking out the trash. I paid for all this shit. I paid for all. She took my bed. She took my bed. Oh my God, she took my bed. She took everything. Except for the stuff that Sweet Tea was throwing out in episode 9 and 10. 5 years later. It's a lot of delulus. A lot of delulu. Okay? Kelsey, she thought they was her best friend. She learned the hard way. Quad will never see it for her. No, Quad is really feeling some type of way about that girl being married. Oh my gosh. And what way do you think she's feeling besides fine? I mean, she literally has an Adonis belt that Dr. G is so jealous of, that Adonis belt smashing with Quad 15 times a week, that it triggered G so bad that after he smooth cash talked all that shit where Cecil had to come and separate them because of Dr. G's mouth writing checks his ass can't cash. And then when the paper comes and he's like, okay, I want my payment, Dr. G is like, Popo, 911, I have an emergency. I ran my mouth so much that this man pushed me, and that's assault. And I want to press charges. Because by the way, he gives it to my old wife 15 times a week. And when you get here, you're going to see his Adonis belt in 12-pack, officer. And I am very afraid. You guys. You guys. Mitch Much? We should get shirts made. Mitch Much? Mitch Much? But Quad is jealous of something? Quad wants something? Quad wants her old house. Have you seen Quad's new house? Quad wants her old house. I'll wait for your brain cells to catch up with the fact that Quad don't want shit that she already walked away from. And that's a problem. People got a problem with letting go. And some people hold on so much that when another person lets go of something that they would have been satisfied with, now that person who let go becomes the problem. And oh, you must want what you used to have. You must not want your pool and your resort on 5 acres. You want that drive up where the Mini Cooper used to storm off and you used to have to go drive around till that fool left so you could go cook for the dogs in peace. I'd say somebody's not paying attention. And if you are paying attention, I would love, now I need to do a panel because I would love to know the reasonings and concepts behind the support of that theory. That you would think that Quad somehow wants and is jealous or misses the man who we saw roll on the floor and froth at the mouth is very perplexing to me. But I got other shit to think about too, but that is very perplexing. That's very perplexing. Okay. She's on YouTube speaking on the show and giving her opinion the same way the others do. She goes on YouTube. 99.9% of her content is about Heavenly. Exactly, Brittany. I did a Heavenly counter. She had 17 minutes in of her about 39-minute video, and she had already said Dr. Heavenly's name like 20 times. And then people are like, oh my God, Larja, it's the interviewer who's asking. Well, her interviewer is high-key obsessed with her too. High-key obsessed. Everywhere she goes, Dr. Heavenly is the only thing they talk about. That's how not interesting she is. Everywhere she goes, the only thing they ask her about is really Dr. Heavenly. She was just on another interview. If she's not saying that Dr. Heavenly's a bully, now she's like, oh, Quad is jealous and wants what I have. This used to mean crazy. You used to see somebody and you'd be like, that means the shit is scrambled. That shit is crazy. He needs to be with somebody's patient. Yes, I would say a good shrink has several therapists. They have a psycho, they have a freaking psychologist, they have a psychiatrist for the good goods. Mm-hmm. Did you see Josh Live with Michelle? And they said what I believe to be the case with Mr. King. No, I didn't see that. Why does he speak to her like she's a child screaming at her? Quad doesn't want him. And he's jealous of Quad and that handsome man with that Adonis belt. Google what an Adonis belt is. If you don't know what an Adonis belt is, you really do, but you might not know what the word for that is. But I love an Adonis belt. And that's what Dr. G's mad at. And the fact that his voice isn't this high. And the fact that Quad puts it on him. And Quad was not putting it on Dr. G for 3 years of their tenure together. And refused to allow his sperm to settle and create a child there. Even though she says she wasn't the problem. Yeah, she's mentioned before, allegedly, that Dr. G might be the one that needs to go get tested, endometriosis aside. It might be Dr. G. Okay, it might be. Who knows? Okay. Every time Quad spoke, Dr. G was yelling louder and louder. Yes, he did not want what Quad was saying to reach what he has positioned in his new wife's mind about himself as it relates to women, especially as it relates to Quad, right? So he needs Quad to be the villain that he purported, right? Like I've been using that word a lot. I'm probably overusing it. I'm gonna need to look up another one. But he is implying that Quad is a negative person, that she's bad, that she lives in the past, that this is all her fault. Like I told you about her, I warned you about her. So like he's already set up these inhibitors, these quad inhibitors in T, to the point where anything that he feels like it might be getting around one of those inhibitors, that's why he was talking louder. That's why he was poking her harder, because other stuff might be getting through. And that's high key narcissistic. I looked it up. You guys can look it up too. I'm not a doctor, but when I looked up what is some signs of abuse, that was one of the things that an abuser would do, is like over talk, loud talk, gaslight, um, put down, like she's the problem because her ears can still hear what the fuck Quad is saying. Think about that. He says Sweet Tea's the problem at the elevator. He was like, I told you not to talk to her. So now Sweet Tea's the problem for her ears hearing what Quad said, which is different than what he has set up as an inhibitor. This is this is some scary shit. This is some Dear John type shit, okay? Crazy. Okay, the crazy thing is he thinks Quad wants anything to do with Dr. Turtle, right? I wonder how many of Dr. G's patients have seen his behavior on the show, saw major red flags, and bounced, right? Oh, no way. I look pretty. Thank you. Thank you. You love this color on me? Thank you. Yes, and the puffy sleeves. I appreciate that. I got it from Target before the boycott. I didn't know that we were going to have to be boycotting shit. And actually, this came from one of their Black designer ladies. So there was a lot of color going on over there in that section, And yes. And but now we got to boycott freaking all the places that want to just do away with DEI. They act like we didn't even need DEI. I mean, if they were really hiring people based on merit already, then it wouldn't be so flippy floppy. I don't understand. But it all must be necessary because it's happening and there's not a lot of shit I can do about it. So there's other stuff I get to focus on. Like, what the fuck is Sweet Tea talking about? What the fuck? Please go watch the video. They both share a fact. The king, the guy with Phaedra, each other pretending like they don't on the show, and said they know whose car Quad is driving. He didn't want his wife to stoop to her level. Quad doesn't want Sweet Tea to endure what she went through with Dr. G. I feel like that's true. She was like, he's yelling at you. He's screaming at you. She's a bad person. Did not see what she did. Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about there too. I'm not sure. You're saying a lot. You're saying a lot of all over the place stuff. Like, yeah. Dr. G wanted Quad spill the beans on their marriage. Yes. And I feel like Dr. G must have something even with the network that Dr. Heavenly can't even repeat what was on those 6 seasons, on season 6, I think it was, when they had that one-on-one with Andy and she was saying everything that she endured with Dr. G. And she had mentioned, physical abuse in there, and she mentioned verbal abuse in there, and she mentioned emotional abuse in there. And they can't even talk about it. And they keep cutting it out whenever specifically Quad says anything about it now. And they're just letting Dr. G sit up here and yell at bitches. But Quad can't say why she's looking all crazy to everybody. They would rather have Quad look crazy without zero with zero explanation or context of the heat and the passion of which she delivered what she said. And Dr. Heavenly told us it was over a long time. The same way she cried at that dinner and the cathartic dinner when she finally got to cry with her friends about the tragedy that happened. She had cried a long time. So she's doing a lot of releasing and healing, I'm feeling. And I'm a proponent, man. I love give it to the person that gave it to you. If there's a way for you to show up at the execution and be like, yeah, and this is how I feel, give it to the person that gave it to you. If there's a way for you to go to the court and be like, Your Honor, I want to say this to the person, give it to the person that gave it to you. If there's an opportunity for you to one day see somebody who wronged you, who abused you, either, SA or DV or something, and you are finally in a position to be like, give it to them, give it to them. Let that go. That shit causes cancer and tumors and shit. Let that go to the person that gave it to you and move on with your beautiful life. That's what Dr. G's problem is. He wants Quad to retain all of the information of her experience, and he just wants to gallivant around and act like everybody's attacking him with his new wife and is jealous of his old fucking house. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Really? That was a swipe. Next. Let's see. I'm starting to think that Gregory has been castrated. No way he's. Darn it. Where'd that go? No. Oh, no way he's bald. No way he has balls. He talks like soprano. Yeah, he talks like one of those kids that might have had one of those bicycle accidents when you were a little kid. Remember that kid who rode the bike with no seat and then hit a curb and then got rushed to the hospital and came home with one testicle? Moral of the story is don't ride a bicycle with no seat. That's the moral of the story. Okay. The show makes Dr. Heavenly always look like the bad person. And it's crazy. It's crazy, 16 thumbs up, please. And thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please smash that like button. She can get it from Quad. He doesn't have to want her to talk to Quad, right? I think he just inhales helium. Well, maybe that could be maybe he's doing whippets before he does anything else. If you watch her with an open mind and go to the show again, you'll see she's being real. Hey, Chef Don, thanks for coming through. Oh, Apollo and Sheena know each other. Oh, Apollo and Sheik know each other. Yep. I'm not sure about. So you guys are saying that Phaedra knows. Somebody's saying that Phaedra knows King. So what? He's a beautiful man. I bet somebody else did know him. But she didn't get a Rolls Royce from him, and she didn't get it on lock from him, and he didn't show up on a show for her. So what? I'm sure a lot of people in Atlanta have had a lot of people that know somebody else that ends up married to that person. It doesn't mean that they want that person still, you know what I mean? Can I say just real quick, I think T can dish it, but she can't take it. That's what we were being in here saying. We were doing a number count earlier. There was a 3 in the chat. If you feel like T does not take accountability and brings this shit on herself. And then we wanted a 5 in the chat if you feel like T is a victim of bullying and these ladies are always doing too much on her. And poor sweet T, somebody get her some Similac and a warm blankie. You see, she always sitting under warm blankies. All she needs is a baba and she'll be fine. She just wants to be babied. She wants to have a tantrum, talk a gang of shit to the teacher, and then cry. Oh my God, the teacher sent me to the principal's office. Oh my God, they're such bullies. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then here comes Gregory. Yeah, those mean ladies. Those mean ladies. Shut the fuck up! Those mean ladies. I told you not to listen to that bitch. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, those mean ladies. You're the problem. I have to go. And then sends her the voicemail. And then she gets up here and does it. Well, you saw this video. I can play the whole thing for you. Let's go over here and look at it. Thanks for coming through to LRGA Curves. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already.
When I didn't know her. She wanted me to go to war with Curvies. When I didn't know her, I was like, I don't understand why, because I don't know her. Why would I be upset? There's no reason to be upset, and there's no beef. And it's just strange, having these people, try to get me on the show and come together and, hey, and open the door and with, open arms to welcome me, and then all of a sudden just flip at a switch randomly, like just invite me on to bully me. And I just feel like I was just a penny to them. I was just a dollar sign. And so...
so they could make more money for another season. They got more money off your back.
Yeah, they got more money. They did get more money off my back. I think that it was just... They wanted to use me. So, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's very disappointing because these are people that I've had at my house. I've never seen many desperate people, with jobs, careers, professions like being doctors, that desperate for a story like that. So everybody wants that. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I still got to talk it over. Show up, if we're gonna show up. I really don't know. I really don't know. Because what is it? You guys have a pack. You've created this ban against me for whatever reason, and nobody wants to be real. And we're just trying to make sense of, while you guys are acting, I'm being real, and this season is not making sense. I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't. Everybody has to keep in mind that Gregory has always had a friendship, an open line of communication with the men. Golf trips they go on and everything. So it was very natural for me to meet his friend circle's wives. And, and to tell you the truth, even when we were around certain things and I was meeting them, the ex was nowhere to be found. That never was an issue. So it never was that I came into her group of friends, because let them tell it, she was never a friend to them. And it's really difficult for me, especially being on the show, because I do feel like I'm the only one that's trying, being real, and the rest of the ladies, they have their own plans, and I'm excluded from that. And it's not fair. It's not fair. When I came into it, I didn't feel like Toya. She really wanted me to go to war with Gregory's ex when I didn't know her. She wanted me to go to war with Gregory's ex when I didn't know her. I was like, I don't understand why, because I don't know her. Why would I be upset? There's no reason to be upset, and there's no beef. And it's just strange, having these people, try to get me on the show and come together and, hey, and open the door and with, open arms to welcome me, and then all of a sudden just flip at a switch randomly, like just invite me on to bully me. And I just feel like I was just a penny to them. I was just a dollar sign. And so...
so they could make more money for another season. They got more money off your back.
Yeah, they got more money. They did get more money off my back. I think that it was just... They wanted to use me. So, It's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's very disappointing because these are people that I've had at my house. I've never seen many desperate people, with jobs, careers, professions, like being doctors, that desperate for a story. So everybody wants to ask, am I going to the reunion? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I still gotta talk it over. Show up, if we're gonna show up. I really don't know. I really don't know. Because what is it? What is it? You guys have a pack. You've created this ban against me for whatever reason, and nobody wants to be real. And we're just trying to make sense of, while you guys are acting, I'm being real, and this season is not making sense. I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't. Like everybody has to keep in mind that Gregory has always had a friendship, open line of communication with the men.
Okay, so that was her with all of these excuses and reasons, and I'm not getting it. There's a disjointedness in the reality and what she's saying. To me, I'm like, I can imagine her as a little girl, like she literally broke the dish and she's standing there talking about the dog did it or anybody else did it. Like she did not do it. There's nothing to see here, nothing. This has nothing to do with her. Those girls just walked up on her and whooped her ass for no reason. She was just walking down the street, minding her own business when all of a sudden, da 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 da. You know what I mean? It's a lot of what happened? Oh my God, all I did was what they said. And then I went to the party they invited me to, and now they're jumping me. And it's so weird because she fails to mention that when she got to the party they invited her to, she showed her ass and tried to turn the host against them all and then talked shit in the lounge. And it's just like a lot. It's a lot. So now let's go to what Toya. So she mentioned Toya specifically. She's been going one by one, ticking off the ladies who she feels are not her friends, right? She's been asked in some interviews about that. And she's like, oh, she still talks to this person and that person. And, she said she still talks to Phaedra. I bet Phaedra not talking to her no more. She said she still talks to, I thought Toya was one of the people. I thought Toya might have been one of the people. But she just lied on Toya. And then she was like, and Simone needs to pick sides. It's like she wants everybody to do for her, but they've only known her for that long. And she wants all the loyalty of Quad's 12 years, regardless of if those hosts say that they're not her friends or she wasn't over. And speaking on that, can we acknowledge that it has been said by the ladies that she has not made herself accessible to them by coming to their house or by inviting them to her house? And I have been feeling like, well, she's young, she's single, she's jet setting. What's she going to do with these, tired older ladies who just got off work all day and, they have husbands to get to and charts to do? Maybe she was respecting their time, but they were having issue with it. Remember in Napa, everybody was like, oh, Quad, you don't even spend any time with us. Well, let Sweet Tea tell it. She's been hanging out with Dr. G for 5 years. And in those 5 years, he's been taking her around his friends for 5 years and saying that Quad hasn't been nowhere around. Well, what the fuck? Should Quad be around? If you've been going around for 5 years with her ex for 5 years, why would she put herself in a place to constantly be around that for 5 years when she told us 6 seasons in season 6, one-on-one, the abuse she endured at his hands, and everybody wasn't believing her. I feel like the ladies did her a misservice when they didn't really fully stand behind her and rally behind her as just a Black woman. And, instead of have Dr. G to their house where they are complaining about Quad not wanting to be, maybe tell your husband to go meet the old boy at the cigar lounge because, Quad said that nigga abused her. So what's up with that? We're just going to be having like freaking hot toddies and Moscow mules in the freaking bar downstairs, Cecil, with this guy who said he used to mollywop freaking Quad. And Quad's supposed to be Cecil's girl, right? Quad's supposed to be Cecil's. Yeah, like, Quad's his girl, right? Like in a good way, right? Like that's his homegirl. And but he also still entertains Dr. G. And I just don't have room for abusive narcissists in my life, in my circle. I'm not sure like what true advantage there could be in a friend group to retain friendship status. Like, oh, we're playing poker, we're going on golf trips, we're doing XYZ. She's spilling all the tea and validating exactly why the fuck Quad would not have taken herself around them, and validating why Quad wouldn't share any of her personal life with these hoes. Because she doesn't want him knowing. And all it takes is one Moscow mule too many. And you're slipping up with, oh, Quad said the other day that she's dating so-and-so and she's going here. And he happens to be down there drinking Moscow mules playing poker. And you let it slip something about Quad's fabulous life. And now she's getting hate energy from Dr. G. You see, he already called the police. As soon as he got access and saw with his own eyes the freaking Adonis pack that's smashing his ex-wife 15 times a week. Adonis to Adonisette. Dropping it low and spreading it wide. Yeah. Dropping it low and spreading it wide. He could not compute. Warning, warning, malfunction, malfunction, warning. Called the po-po on that man for standing up for Quad, when all he's ever done to Quad is abuse her. And now he's abusing her some more, trying to exert additional control over Quad's happiness in life and access to her good wood 15 times a week by pressing charges, when we all saw and know for a fact that he started this shit running his high-pitched mouth, talking about, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I was talking to you. I said, shut the fuck up to Quad in front of King. And then we see in the trailer how Cecil's like, oh, can we squash what happened last night? Because Cecil was the one that had to get between them. So were you wondering about the context? I was. And now we have context. He was wondering about the night before when he had to stand between not only Dr. G and Sweet Tea, but Dr. G and King, because they had words the night before when Toya blew him out of the water and was like, why are you talking to Quad like that, Dr. G? Oh, you just gonna let that happen? And set a little fire and ran away. So King the next day is like, no, we're not gonna let it go. And then we see and hear Dr. G's arthritic knees get up from his sitting position, because he was like this on the beach, remember? And King was standing over there. And Cecil was right here. And we see and hear Dr. G get up. King was over there. He got up and ran. We see him get up and it looks like he's charging King. And then the next scene, we see him running away from King. So he started all that shit again. He could have stayed his ass down on the ground. Why is he challenging Adonis belts and 12 packs? Why? So he can call the police and take away Quad's access to wood. That's some Mitch behavior. I think he needs to self-diagnose. That's what I'm thinking at this point. He needs a self-diagnosis of Mitch behavior. And I hope he has an antidote. Because usually the antidote for Mitches is they get stitches. Usually the antidote is you're going to get these hands. You come up to a real man like a Mitch, then you're going to get these heads. But Dr. G is deciding to dig his heels in with his high-pitched helium-sounding ass, pressing the charges on the king. Really? Annie wants a restraining order? Really? Really? When you were the one talking all that shit in front of a camera and 8 other men? Really? I did not know that we were dealing with a Karen. He's a chocolate-covered Karen. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He may as well be calling the police at the people barbecuing at Lake Merritt. He calling the police on the little black girl selling water on a hot day. Karen type behavior. He calling on the man walking the dog and the bird watching. Oh, he's getting near me. Oh, he's getting near me. He's kicking my dog. He's kicking my dog. The lies you tell. If it does have to go to court and he does press charges and it literally only comes down to you touch me. I'm thinking they were in Florida when it happened. I believe they were in Key something, Florida, right? And isn't that the stand your ground state? So I'm thinking that King might be okay. Because that was self-defense after he lunged at me and verbally assaulted me and my woman. And that little chase at the end. They get a little gray on what stand your ground is. So I'm thinking he should be okay. But if in fact he does have to go to jail because freaking Dr. G is a narcissistic, gaslighting, stonewalling manipulator who used maniacal genius to work King up into a frenzy and then somehow flip the tables so that he could get the law on him. Quad never even pressed charges on your abusive ass and didn't even give you a jacket. And you're the one that needs a jacket. When a man fights a man, I don't think that you need a jacket. A jacket is a suit, is some interaction with the law. You don't need that. When men deal with men, you don't need that. Quad needs to put that on you. That's what needs to happen. Think about that. He didn't want Quad to even get to say the abuse and physical abuse she endured from him, but now he's pressing charges for assault from King after he did all of those wolf tickets and wrote all of those many checks that his ass then could not cash. He jumped up, talking about, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Remember, we saw it in the trailer. He jumps up, what you gonna do? And then we see him run away. And then even in her extended video, she's like validating his behavior, talking about, all I know is I saw my husband get attacked. You guys, she needs to go. She needs to go. Her and Dr. G's needs to get his sperm counted ass need to go. Let's look at some of these comments while we go back to see. What did Toya Bush Harris say? She said, please don't lie on me. I rebuke your kind of crazy. These sob stories are a lot for all of us. Hashtag married to medicine at the real sweet tea. Baby girl, just distance yourself if everyone is so horrible to you. Okay, and then it says hashtag something else. I don't see that bottom one. You guys. So, and if Toya says that today at the reunion, that this is a lot for all of us, that'll be excellent. That will be most excellent. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to look at real quick is, oh my God, you guys, AnneMarie Wiley. Remember her from.
So Donald Trump has just.
Remember her from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? She was on there they had their reunion with her last year in 2024 and in March. So she was like a one season. Was she on one season or two seasons? Anyway, she did not make the cut. And people were saying it was because she was a Trump supporter. People were saying it was because she had her husband, Marcellus Wiley, a football player who calls her an 8.5. He was saying that they didn't believe that trans people should be able to play in women's sports. And they got a lot of backlash and got called, homophobic and stuff. And so let me go back one more time. I think I have the actual video first. Where'd she go? Thanks for coming through. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you have not already. Okay. So remember, she said she was an 8.5 too. So let's start there.
I'm walking around at CVS and this woman comes up to me and she's like, "Are you really okay with being an 8.5?" And I bust out laughing and I was like, yes, I am. Like to me, like there's no such thing as a 10. Like there's no such thing as being perfect. Like there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth. Like there's always room for like creating a better version of yourself. And I'm like, it's okay not to be perfect. Like you don't need to be a 10. You, as long as you are doing your best and you're making yourself proud, like you're winning. So I don't know, like proud 8.5 here. So super random, but I just wanted to share that quickly because I just thought it was so funny. And anyway, have a good day, guys. So I'm walking around at CVS and this woman comes up to me and she's like, "Are you really
okay?" So that's AnneMarie. Remember? So she was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we were hoping that her and Garcelle would have been a fabulous dynamic duo. And instead, she kind of did this like implosion thing and then was mad that Garcelle didn't get mad at Sutton when Sutton said a word to her that was valid at the time and not a microaggression at all. It was totally the right word in the sentence at the time. And she decided to try to pull it out because Garcelle had used it as a way against somebody else in the group when it was being a microaggression. And we were like, look, girl, you're just going to have to try again because it's not the same. Right. And so then her and Garcelle ended up like attacking Garcelle at the freaking reunion. And it was a lot. And remember during the season, you may or may not know that she's a nurse anesthesiologist, I believe. And then there, Crystal Minkoff, who also isn't on this newest season. She got cut last season too. After they got into it, actually. And she is the wife of the guy who did The Lion King, like the animation for The Lion King. So she was also on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with this woman. So they got into it and it was a lot of back and forth. And at one point, AnneMarie, this woman right here, purported that she was an anesthesiologist, just like a doctor anesthesiologist. And Crystal was like, but you're a nurse. How is a nurse and a doctor the same? Like, if you were a doctor, wouldn't we call you doctor? And she's like, oh my God, that's racist. And she's like, no, it's like freaking question. Like, why aren't you called a doctor anesthesiologist if you're like a doctor anesthesiologist? Why are you called a nurse anesthesiologist? And the actual medical board of anesthesiologists entered the chat, you guys. Yes, the actual board entered the chat, and we covered it at the time here on LRGA Curves. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this play.
That part. So I was
Yeah,
like,
you're right. You're right.
get her out.
So at the time of the episode, and this is about a year ago.
Supposed to, they took time to go after a successful woman's credentials over a dumb show. That's my first problem. But let me go ahead and tell you guys really quickly what you need
That's
to
a
become
manual.
a CRNA. First of all, you need to graduate a four-year university, right, with a 3.0 GPA or above. You need to have your ACLS certification. You need to have your PALS certification. You need to complete 28 months of study and clinicals, and then you need to pass your CRNA board exam. So it ain't no easy thing. I don't like that they're going after her career after.
So that was Emmanuel, Manny's TV Talk. He's part of the Curvy crew. And so that was that episode from a year ago. So he sounds like it might even be more than, it sounds like it might even be more what it takes to be a doctor. But the fact remains to many, including me then and including me now, is if it is the same, then why is not it called the same? You're not getting paid the same. It's not the same. So the certified nurse anesthesiologist got into the chat. It says nurse anesthesiologist, experts that never leave your side. So certified nurse, they have all of this education, training, and fellowshipping to do. And they're also known as nurse anesthesiologists, highly skilled healthcare professionals that administer anesthesia to people who undergo various medical procedures, ensuring their comfort and safety throughout the process. So her and Crystal Minkoff get into it. And Crystal's like, well, I actually have a family member that's a doctor. And she said it's not the same. So that's why the organizations ended up entering the chat.
Because of a show. And okay, do I want to go there? Go there?
So then,
go there.
you know, I can make it a lot.
I think that because
I'm looking for the other.
Attacked the poor white woman, this is a problem that they had to put this out. Because let me tell you something. Let's remember how this started. It started because Kyle Richards said, you have an eating disorder. That's how this all started. And now nobody is talking about Kyle. It all went back
to you are
AnneMarie.
So right. Bailiff, go to the brat and bring out Kyle. We need her now. You are right. So it was Kyle who said that, not Crystal.
Oh, thank you for mentioning Crystal. Crystal wants to say that allegedly AnneMarie.
Can you hear that?
She was a doctor, right?
Right.
Your Honor,
Crystal
is not a reliable witness because we have seen her track record of saying things that aren't accurate. Like when she said there was a dark comment
on how that it was a feeling, not really an action.
That's true. That did happen.
They leave it in for a lot of other franchises on a lot of other women. And it would have added a layer to Crystal that the wallpaper hasn't had for many seasons.
CRNA people coming out with all the experience that you need. But I will also say that this. Okay, so after that happened, the nurse, the ASA, the Association of the Doctor people, entered the chat too. And I was looking for that one and it looks like it's not on here. However, today I woke up and this all happened a year ago. She's off of our screens. She's been living a nice, quiet life. I think she has a podcast and she's been working out and she's been doing some other things. Excuse me. And this morning, she got a bee in her bonnet. And look at what she's doing a year later, you guys. She recently filed a lawsuit. So we did the lies already with Sweet and Sour and Toya, and now we're doing the lawsuit. She's suing the American Society of Anesthesiologists for correcting her a year ago on their public platform. Listen to this. I have recently filed a lawsuit against the American Society of Anesthesiologists, ASA, because of their public smear campaign against me, stemming from their IG post during my time as a cast member on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I continue to experience significant harm from their false and defamatory IG post about me. While I have not publicly disclosed my lawsuit, I am now aware of the ASA's decision to publicize on their website my lawsuit against them. Let me be clear. My lawsuit is solely about the ASA's malicious, false, targeted, defamatory statements about me. I have always proudly, publicly, and consistently stated that I am a CRNA. I have never stated that I am an anesthesiologist or a medical doctor during my time on the Housewives of Beverly Hills or otherwise. This is not a debate over professional titles, despite the ASA's attempt to now characterize it as such. This is about holding the ASA accountable for its shameful and blatant lies. I trust that the truth will come to light through the proper legal channels. Defamation has no place in healthcare. You guys, in healthcare. You guys, it's crazy time. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the American Society of Anesthesiologists website, since they're being petty. And that's how all this started, is there is somebody petty over there that even entered the chat on this at all. So let's see if I can find benefits, featured, news. Oh my gosh, look. This is what Elon Musk is on, you guys. He's doing ketamine for his Asperger's, I believe, is allegedly. You know he's on one. That's why he's up there. He's on one. It makes you feel normal and act normaler if you have ketamine somehow. Anyway, so that was a sidebar. But let's keep going and seeing if we can find anything about the freaking lawsuit. Where would they post it on their lawsuit? Maybe in press release, newsroom, news releases. American Center launches ketamine, American. Oh, look, here it is right here, you guys. American Society, January 16th, the day before my birthday. Ooh, they did post it in their news. So, American Society of Anesthesiologists to vigorously defend against lawsuit filed by former cast member of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in Chicago. A lawsuit was recently filed against the American Society of Anesthesiologists, ASA, by a former cast member of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. ASA intends to vigorously defend this claim. The ASA intends to vigorously defend against the claims. The use of incorrect medical titles has no place in healthcare. Ooh, they bit right back. She said, what did she say on her thing? Oh, somebody there is so petty. She says defamation has no place in healthcare. Down here. Can you see that? You see that right there? Defamation has no place in healthcare. They are so petty. It says the use of incorrect medical titles has no place in healthcare. Doing so confuses patients who have the right to know the education, skills, and qualifications of their healthcare professionals. As the leading advocate for patient safety, ASA and our members want all patients to understand the difference between licensed medical doctors who specialize in anesthesiology and other members of anesthesia care team and other members of the anesthesia care team or other anesthesia healthcare professionals. The American Society of Anesthesiologists, founded in 1905, the American Society of Anesthesiologists, ASA, is an educational research and scientific society with more than 59,000 members organized to advance the medical practice of anesthesiology and secure its future. ASA is committed to ensuring anesthesiologists evaluate and supervise the medical care of all patients before, during, and after surgery. ASA members also lead the care of critically ill patients and intensive care units, as well as treat pain and chronic settings. For more information, and this was on the date, for more information on the field, go here or visit here. Ooh. She said, let me be clear. While I have not publicly disclosed my lawsuit, AnneMarie said, I am now aware of the ASA's decision to publicize. So she just posted this 18 hours ago. She's coming clean. And they posted this way back on the 18th of January. So she's just now finding out that that they've been being petty for a month. And I distinctly remember the issue being that she said it. I could swear that she said that she was a little messy with the people, but not too. It was insightful. And as always, and TV Deets is who posted it. You guys was, what did they say? Misrepresenting her title. Because in confessional is always fast turning. Okay, here's what happened. The land of Beverly Hills. She gets in her first group scene and attacks Sutton about she not only working out, but then getting into her medical history. And we've seen AnneMarie about 3 times so far, maybe 4. And every time we see this woman, she's talking about Sutton's esophagus, you guys. She was. And it's so annoying. It's like, is this going to be the kind of lady that you're going to be? Are you just going to be the kind of lady that is always dragging around dead horses? We don't like it was a lot, dead horses on reality shows. We like you to reconcile and move on. Don't drag a dead horse around. Play the victim because you smell something stinking, but you dragging the dead horse around, lady. So look, the American Society of Anesthesiologists came out against AnneMarie, talking about she was, what did they say? Misrepresenting her title. Because in confessionals, she's attacking Crystal and talking about. She says she's a CRNA. Like, with authority that she doesn't have, according to the American Society of Anesthesiologists, you guys. So they got at her and they rightfully posted what it takes to be a doctor compared to what it takes to be a nurse anesthesiologist. And so they posted that. And then after they posted it, of course, AnneMarie had something to say about it, you guys. And they post the differences and say that misrepresentation has no place in titles in medical profession, and basically she needs to chill out. We could spite a fake from a mile away, and you need to chill out, lady. So AnneMarie, in her very AnneMarie way, because she doesn't take accountability, she lied in our face, tried to gaslight us, lied on other cast members, and then when they pointed it out, she starts over talking them, talking about, you're not going to write my narrative. You're not going to write my narrative. Lady, there's literal cameras rolling. You're going to have to check the contract. You're on a reality show, which means there are cameras rolling, which means we get to see the shit you do. So when you try to tell us that you didn't just do what we saw you do, you're going to get called on it, lady. And just talking over people doesn't make it the truth. Trying to rewrite history doesn't mean that the history didn't happen. So let's get into what good old AnneMarie said after finding out what the freaking people said about her. So this is one of her reactions 23 hours ago. And it's been 24 hours about since I did my live on this, when I pointed out what the ASA said about her. And then she did this. And then she did this. It was her kids' party. Shout out to Capricorn season. My cake was very similar. And then she needed to post this because a whole society came out against her. So now the Nurse Association is for her. So we're going to read some of these, you guys. Let's see. Is she tagged in this? Because I really want it to be. Okay. So here is an answer she got 4 hours ago from the CRNA place, as opposed to the American Society of Anesthesiologists, which is obviously a higher title and more education, which is, and then she did this. History doesn't mean that the history, and then she did this, said about her. Okay, so this had said, I do not condone the ASA's defamation. So even back then, she was claiming that it was defamation. I do not condone the ASA's defamation campaign. I am a CRNA, a certified registered nurse anesthesiologist. I am extremely proud of my profession. I am not to be accused of title misappropriation because a castmate needed a storyline on a reality show. This is my real life, my career. I am not an anesthesiologist, nor have I ever claimed to be one. I have immense respect for any physician anesthesiologist, and I ask that the ASA and other anesthesiologists show respect to CRNAs as well. This type of unhealthy discourse only causes friction of unprofessional division. Political issues exist between physician anesthesiologists and CRNAs, which explains their current attack on me. The CRNA profession. Our goal as anesthesias should always be to work together in order to best serve the patients. not for competing with each other. My aim is to educate and the public on who CRNAs are and provide the best care. And then she said,
then she did this.
The esophagus storyline was not funny. Watching the show back now, I hate that storyline as much as everyone else. I would be mad at me too. It was I'm sorry. It was a line of questioning I should have never started. And for that, I sincerely apologize. That storyline was unauthentically dragged on for too long. I agree. I have been dragged through the mud in the process. I just want to highlight.
And then she did this.
Okay. So that to me, let's take that off of here. Go here real quick. And I'm going to get this open for you guys. Just a second. What do you guys think of that? I'm like, really? Really, AnneMarie? A year later, you're suing because it's video on demand and some people must have saw it and researched it or something. Researched it. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Let's look at some of these comments before we skedaddle. Okay, yes. Hey, Zelene. Hey, Decor. Yeah, so I looked it up. It says she's a CRNA. But on the episode, I swear, she got in her confessional and it was like, I'm just like a doctor. It's just like a doctor. She really did. She did. Unfortunately, there's an eighth housewife. Now, the people were talking about King. They said they like King for taking up for his woman. I did too. King should have pressed charges on Dr. G. He should have. All the things that Quad said to start a fight. Quad is a nasty woman. Oh my gosh. Dustin Butler, thanks for coming through. Oh, you're not working today? Remember last season, Cecil said Dr. G upgraded with T? Yeah, he did, even though that's his friend. She came in thinking she was going to make Quad feel away and it failed. Nobody's against her, right? Not a soul. I think she's against herself. I just feel like she's in over her head. And in her head, it's not playing out how she wanted it to in real life. And so she's kind of lashing out and kind of floundering. But everybody knows that when you're drowning, what you need to do is relax, keep only your hands out of the water, and put your head back and relax and let go. But if you're doing all of this in the water, it's going to make you drown. You put your hands above your head when you drown in, it makes you sink. You have to only put your hands to where your head is, and it makes you float right there. Did you guys know that? I just found that out. Damn, Instagram. Anyway, you guys, have you heard anything about Quad or Heavenly? You know, I saw some clickbait channels. Now, I did text with Dr. Heavenly last night. I'm going to tell you guys. Let me see. Did she get back to me yet? No, because I was running a theory by her. I was like, do you think I'm crazy for trying to figure out the timelines? Seriously. Do you think I'm crazy for trying to figure out the timelines on my newest theory that somehow Apollo, Phaedra, and Shireen planned the fight and because they both brought pop-ups to this couples trip, then leveraged that to maneuver contract negotiations onto Real Housewives of Atlanta? Am I crazy? I asked her that. Because it just seems too much. So you guys know that in this week's coming up episode of Married to Medicine, we'll finally get to see Apollo with no shirt on and his Adonis belt on the beach with his wife, Shireen, who we think is his wife. And that was shot in July of 2024. We're not seeing it until right now in February 2025. It was shot in July of 2024. Well, we come to find out that on February 7th of 2025, Shireen files for official divorce from Apollo. The same Shireen that's going to be in this upcoming episode on Married to Medicine as his wife, who he brings to a couples trip after he finds out that Sheik is going to be there with his ex-wife, Phaedra. So he's like, she bringing somebody, I'm bringing somebody, right? So I'm wondering why he would bring Shireen, who he was officially separated from at that time. Because in her filing on February 7th, she said they got married in October. Do the math. They got married in October 2022. They separated November 2023. And then he got arrested for that little scuffle after the ring video and trying to take her phone in March of 2024. And then they went on the couples trip together in July of 2024. Then they signed an agreement acknowledging that they're separated, but going to be living in the same house in October of 2024. And now in February of 2025, she's officially filing for divorce after all of this. And I'm like, that's the rewind all the way back to July. So why would you come to the couples trip and have so much smoke for Phaedra that you cuss her out so bad they probably not going to play it? But then for her to use that as, oh my God, these are mean girls. They invited Apollo and Apollo's ex-wife, and I just got ambushed. Help me. She is in Phaedra. Remember the scene. Dr. Heavenly was calling Phaedra, and she said, I invited Apollo. And she said, girl, he doesn't do anything without me knowing. I know everything he does. Why would she know everything that married man does unless they're in cahoots somehow? I don't know. It's a little rickety, but I'm feeling like I could be on to something. So we'll find out. You were thinking the same thing about the timeline, CJ Hardy says. Creole is in the house. What's good? T is worrying about her real government job. That's not the excuse for her claiming that Quad is jealous and Dr. Heavenly's a bully. That has nothing to do with her government job. This deferred resignation was not the case when she was acting a fool, showing her entire ass, cussing the people out every Monday on her Sunday on her show. Yeah, I think his swimmers aren't working. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Miss Foodie, thanks for coming through. I hope Dr. H spills the beans on Patreon. Yes. What Shireen said to Phaedra. Yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully she'll be able to stop back by after the reunion and tell us some more behind the scenes tea, because that's where we really get the truth. And then she sits up and acts like she tells the truth. She's the only person that tells the truth is Sweet Tea. Really? I'm feeling like your truth is laced with delusion. And truth laced with delusion is a lie. Okay? And the word liability is beginning in lie, because if you have the ability to lie, we can't trust you and it's an issue. Liability is an issue, right? Yes. Was she mean to T, or was she joning with T, giving T what T was giving her? And when T decides that it's too much, T said a gang of shit. T has talked a gang of shit out the side of her neck about all these ladies. To and through. Oh, look, it's a little squirrel up here. The squirrels out here, they be walking on the house so freaking weird. Like, it's like on the house like this. And I'm like, I'm so happy none has ever come in the window, but the screens are all on. But maybe he's smart. Just chilling, whatever. She's talking shit like, yeah, she's talking shit just like they've talked shit. Everybody's here talking shit. Everybody's being shady. Everybody's being catty. Everybody. And then they let it go. But no, Sweet Tea does it and then wants apologies from everybody else without apologizing for it. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, you guys, Allie from Miami. Hey, thanks for coming through. I was just wrapping it up, girl. T really needs an ally. Well, she had an ally and she keeps burning them. Toya was an ally and now she's throwing Toya under the bus because Toya isn't doing what she wants. She's trying to control these ladies the way Dr. G be controlling her. That's what's happening. She's trying to control these ladies the way Dr. G is trying to control her. Oh, you need to do this. You need to check heavenly. You need to hold her accountable. You need to say that it's bad what she did. You need to. Trying to control all these ladies that pay their own taxes is not a good look. Toya's being messy in the last episode. They're all messy. And Toya remains messy. You know what I'm saying? But they're all do it. Sweet Tea is messy. And then she gets messy and cries. You can't be a villain and a victim. You got to pick a side. That's why you're so confused and stressed out. Because you can't pick a side. Dr. Heavenly's like, yeah, I know they say I'm the villain. And I'll just accept that and keep it moving. Toya's like, yeah, I stir the pot. Whatever, I keep it moving. You know what I mean? So I just don't understand why she gets to cry about it. Unsign up. If the problem is you signed up because they said, then unsign up. Because like even Toya just said, I was tired. We tired. This show about married people not taking care of babies. Yeah, they're doing their job, literally. Sweet Sour Tea and Dr. Elmo Voice know this is a job with coworkers. Exactly. So what? So she's going in her government job, trying to get bitches in trouble at her government job too, when she doesn't get the email that she wanted to get from the department she needed it from when she decided she needed it. And now she's going to HR on them talking about, oh, well, you need to make so-and-so take accountability. Or is she only doing this at this job? I think it's only here. She's not going to the lunchroom at the government office, stirring up all this commotion. That's ridiculous. Yeah, the Elmo voice. Oh, Sweet Tea. Oh, Sweet Tea. Give it to me, girl. Give it to me, girl. Right there. Right there. Let's make a baby tonight, girl. Ooh, I'm going to put it on you tonight. We making babies tonight. We making babies tonight. I can't with myself. Anyway, you guys, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. On your way in or out, go ahead and ring my bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. So you can be part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for being you. Remember, there's enough to go around. So go get some. Okay? Peace.